All right, what we have here is a fully charged battery. You see the 4 bars, and we're sitting at 4.7. This thing has been very stable, I will say. And I have a chip set here that's one of the older ones. It's number 5 of 10, I think, that I have out here. Several have bit the dust. I tested them, they don't work. I put them in the garbage. So I'm trying to whittle down to what I have that works. This board seems to do everything with one exception, and I'll tell you what it is. So there's a fresh start. There's a steam whistle, a steam exhaust, and then a fireman shoveling coal for a few moments. That's what I put in. I can change it, but that's what I put. That's to warm it up. When he's done shoveling coal, then you can make the announcement. And we're coming out. Nice pulse. And you can speed it up. Of course, I'm making a video and it dies. And it restarts. All right. This board is a used board. I straightened the pins out. It may have lost contact or something. I'll give it that much. Let's use my right hand a little more coordinated. Let's see if I can get a chuff going here. Pretty solid, pretty good, pretty responsive. Okay. Bell, and if you hold it and you're backing up, you got a bell and a whistle. Still on 4 bars. So we're working here, and we haven't even touched the battery juice. We're still at 4. And the fan motor is taking whatever it needs to puff. It's going to take the same amount. Right back. The flaw in this is it's supposed to be able to play 2 channels simultaneously. It does that, but the second channel starts to get squeaky on us. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll start with the bell. Let's say we're backing up, and I'll keep the bell continuous. Then I'll hit the backup chuff. Okay, we're backing up. Now I'm going to hit the chuff. It's playing a different sound. See what happens to the whistle? If I chuff during the whistle, it changes the tone of the chuff. And even it leaves the chuff with a little edgy sound. So I'm not sure what that is or where that is, but it's not due to power. We have 4 bars. Like your cell phone, you know, we got 4 bars here, and it should have plenty of energy to do what it needs to do. So it's got to be an issue with the performance of the hardware, and this is not at all warm. I've had some that get pretty hot. Not at all warm, and the fan's not at all warm. You know, this thing's not warm. It's actually cool. This guy's a little warm, but he's nowhere near screaming hot, okay? So it seems like this system is working well, except when we do the mixed sound, we get that problem. So what I'm going to do now is get another good board that I know will work, and I'm going to take out the mixer so that you can't play them. We play one at a time, and that's it. And let's see what that sounds like with this power supply. And if it does perform like we had here without the mixing issue, then I would say this configuration is good. The Another part came today, which is interesting for the fact that it is so small. It's as small as that part. And I have 3 of them to test. These are so small. It's smaller than that board. It's about less than half the size of that board, and it replaces all of this stuff without the display. It's a step-up, step-down voltage regulator. It puts out 5 volts, solid as a rock, no matter what comes in. And it has 1 amp, 1.5 amp, and 2 amp variations. I've got 1 of each. So I can check and see how's the 1 amp doing, how's the 1.5, how's the 2, if these actually work. I'm not sure what their input limits. I got to go back and read the thing to see what are the input limits, but it might be they have a limit of 12 volts or 15 volts or something like that. I'll have to check. If that's the case, then I would have to put some kind of a buck limiter or put something in front, or maybe this is redundant if I use a board like this, although this board is pretty big. This is only a buck, but my normal boards are like this size, so you can see it's a massive increase in real estate in the engine somewhere. Although this is nice, yeah, this is not bad. This is all working out, so I might have to force room for that, I don't know. But I can also substitute this with one of my other buck boost boards to see, can the normal one work? This regulator is not warm at all. We're not running the heater on the smoke, and we're not running the engine. We're just running the WeMOS. So that's kind of what you, plus now I seem to have a functional, look at this, 4 volts. This is sort of like a hybrid car where you got some battery and some regular voltage coming in. So as he pulls some in, he's not draining the battery totally. Unless you turn that power off, then he would. You know, if you say, oh, I'm off, you saw that little blip. He didn't restart though. He thought about it, but he didn't. Oh, look at that. He's not playing. He's not playing nice. He's not playing at all without that. Isn't that funny? Well, now you know. I thought I had the fan going earlier with that. Oh, now nothing at all. Oh, great. What did I do? I don't know. Oh boy. Well, now that tells you got to be careful testing things you don't know. Oh, geez, that's so loose. I probably bumped it somehow. Yeah, that must have been it. I bumped it and it wasn't. All right, so let's turn it down. Power's off and it restarts. Power's on and it just keeps going. So I bumped it. That was a problem. You know, that's when you're doing these tests, you got to make sure you're not screwing with something that you don't mean to. Yeah, that happens. I do have a little capacitor here. What is this, like 100? That's 100 at 25. I wonder if that could slow down that that little blip in the bulb. Let's let that charge for a second. Okay, now I'm going to turn the power off. See if that blue light stays on. Oh no, it went off. If anything, it went off for a longer period of time. Yeah. All right, that may have been a bad idea. All right. So I'm going to continue to build boards and test them. I'm going to put in, get another board and load it with the simpler program without the mixed sound and see what we have with that. And go from there. All right, that's what I've done. More thinking, but this part especially looks really solid. That charger is worth it. I got 5 of them, so I'm in good shape. Look at that. It's going almost, it's coming off of 3 now. Okay, more later, gang.